Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Manga Mike here. I am an amateur artist and I'm trying to be a professional artist at some point. What I really like to do is I want to pitch a comic to Saturday AM probably within the next couple of years. It's kind of my dream is to be published by them. So if that's something that you might want to stick around for, make sure you subscribe. I'm posting once a week. I'm actually going to be moving my post from Wednesday to Saturday, so I'll post every Saturday, probably around like 5. So that was number one. Number two, I kind of wanted to briefly thank all of my new subscribers and all my subscribers in general. I'm not a big channel by any means at this point, but I've doubled in size in the past 4 or 5 months, and I do really appreciate every single one of y'all. So thank you so much for that. And finally, this video is going to be about, burnout and how to kind of avoid it. And it's going to be a little bit of a different video. I'm not going to be doing a whole bunch of points. I'm just going to talk about my experience with burnout and what I've been doing to try to make sure I push through that. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so I got a question for you. What brought you to art? So I'll tell you a little bit about myself and what brought me to art. My dream, as you've probably heard a little bit here and there, is to create a shonen style manga, right? The shonen style manga is going to be about some of the things that I myself struggled with growing up. So for those of you who don't know, I'm mixed race. I'm half black, half white, and growing up in the time and place that I grew up in, that wasn't always the most accepted thing. And I'm sure people from the area that I grew up in might, have differing opinions, but it doesn't matter what they think. My experience was that it sucked a little bit. It was hard to understand where I fit in. I felt at times I was accepted by some people that I more closely kind of, felt my belonging with. And some of the people that I grew up with turned out to be much different as I got older. They treated me differently, told me specific things because of my race, and it sucked, man. It really did. And the reason why I want to make something like that or that idea into a comic is because I'm sure I'm not the only person that went through teenage years or that's currently a teenager that doesn't have that experience, right, or has that experience. There's other kids out there that do have that experience, and I want them to be able to look at my main character and be able to say, I see myself in him and I see that he is struggling, but I'm also going to see him persevere. So that is at least a piece of my story, and the other piece is that I think that a lot of shonen manga have this lesson of, you get really, really angry and all of a sudden you get a power boost and you can get past this demon that is in front of you or this monster. Like, for instance, Goku is a prime example, right? He goes through the traumatic experience of losing his best friend, and all of a sudden he can beat the crap out of Frieza because he goes Super Saiyan. Not knocking Dragon Ball. As you can see, I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan. I love it. It's a great series. The grandfather of all shonen, basically. But the lesson there basically is that I get angry, I can get what I want, or I get angry and I can push through a specific circumstance, or at least that's the message that I see. And the message really should be, a traumatic event happens, it's going to break you because it should, right? It's trauma. And in order to actually gain something from that, you need to find either, help, or you need to give yourself some time to recover, and then you can be stronger afterwards. So that's another thing that I'm going to be trying to do in my manga, and that's something that's really personal to me. I'm like wearing my company t-shirt now because it is personal for me. Like, I'm a therapist. That's what I really help people with, is to move past that kind of stuff. So hopefully my comic can do the same. So why am I talking about all of that in spilling my guts out to you in a video about burnout? Art burnout at that. So the reason why I told you all that is because that's what I remind myself of when I start to feel like I can't push forward anymore. I have to remind myself of why I'm doing this and how it is for me, like, it's therapeutic for me to actually write this story and to create these pieces of art, but it's really also for this bigger cause of wanting to help others, right? That's what I connect with. It doesn't have to be that deep for you, but this is my advice. Make sure you remember why you are doing the art that you're doing. What is pushing you to learn, to work, and practice those things at least a couple of times a week along with your studies. Because if you don't, art is such a huge topic that you can literally sit down and you can try to study art every single day and for the rest of your life, and you still won't, have everything, right? Nobody knows everything. For instance, me, I feel like I have a decent grasp on the anatomy of the torso. It doesn't mean that I'll stop studying it. That means that I've moved on to other things and tried to learn other things to the same extent. But I have a lot to learn still. And that's just one subject. I have so much to learn about lighting, about gesture, about all of those things, and environments, right? I have so much to learn about all of those things that I can't hope to fully be able to learn all of it in a reasonable amount of time. So I'd still practice, though. It's a task that I'm willing to try, but that doesn't mean that you can't go back and try to also do other things too. And those other things should be the personal stuff that makes you happy. If you like doodling little goofy characters, sometimes do that. If you like drawing from imagination and doesn't really matter to you what it looks like, do that, right? Do the things that make you happy with art, because again, man, it can be hard. You can get burnt out trying to learn all of this stuff. So yeah, I know that this was a much different video, but I do hope that you enjoyed it. I wanted to also kind of tell you a little bit, give you a little piece of myself, because I feel like me doing these videos about random arbitrary art things is fine, but I want you to be able to get to know me a little bit as well, other than my very first video that I made. So hopefully for those of you who are experiencing a little bit of burnout, hopefully this kind of helps you a little bit. It definitely, like I said, it helps me a lot to go back to the roots of why I'm doing this. Hopefully it feels helpful for you too as well. Remember, just find that thing and go back to it at least once or twice a week in between your studies. I think that really helps refresh me, and hopefully it'll help refresh you as well. So anyways, other than that, if y'all have any questions or comments or whatever, go ahead and put it down in the comments below. I'll get to them as soon as I can. Again, thank you all so much for the subs and everything. Man, it's been awesome to be able to go on my YouTube studio stuff and see my analytics and see that the channel is trending in the right direction. Heck, I think in a couple of weeks I'll probably be at 100 subs, which is incredible for me. So I'm really happy about that, and we're on that road to 1,000. But anyways, I really do appreciate y'all if y'all stuck around to the to the end of the video. And I look forward to the next video on Saturday. I'll do a traditional drawing video on Saturday. Thank you so much. All right, peace.